I feel like a lot of the times we go through stuff that we expect to go a different way than we actually go through it, and it makes us kind of bitter. It makes us kind of like, why not me? Why didn't I do that? I did everything I was supposed to do, like every training I was supposed to go to, I went to. Every extra thing I was supposed to do at home, I did. But you still didn't come out on top. And I feel like that's the thing for a lot of us, and that's what makes us fail a lot of the things we want to do and accomplish, a lot of the hard things we want to accomplish. And I just feel like to be like that, it's better to think of getting better than getting bitter. You can't let that make you rot inside. You can't let that make you angry, upset. And if it does, you got to understand that there's still progress to be made. There's still a lot of things that could be done to improve your skills in the next couple of days. You're not dead yet. Most of the time when you're getting into something, hopefully you're at a younger age. It's still good to get into stuff at an older age, but a lot of the time we try new stuff at a younger age, and it's harder for us to understand that we gotta fail. We gotta fail a lot of the time. We can't succeed all the time, because how else would we know success if we never went through the failure? How else would success be as great as it is if we never failed before? There's a lot of things we might not accomplish in our lifetimes, but we tried our best to. We tried as much as we could, and at least we can die knowing that we put in all of our work into it. We put all our mind into it, all of our heart, and we manifested it. And sometimes things don't go right. But if you really, really, really want something, you can't give up on it. You can't give up on it. You got to redo it, and redo it until you get the outcome you wanted. There's a lot of things that we want in the future. We want to be a millionaire. We want to be a doctor, an astronaut. But we're not making the steps today it takes to be like that. We got to put that mindset of that person into now. What would the person I want to become in the future do today? What am I got to do today to be able to get there tomorrow? And then we got to go from baby steps from there. There's a lot of big projects we want to accomplish, but they seem too massive for us. But we don't understand that we can break them down into smaller groups of things, and we can get them done throughout a year. It doesn't have to be at a certain deadline. That's when you get yourself caught up, and when you put deadlines on things. And it's good to put deadlines on things, I feel like, but it's not good to get to the deadline and be like, okay, I didn't do it, now I gotta quit. No. You gotta change the deadline. You gotta change the deadline until you get the exact outcome you wanted. And that's easier said than done, because who knows when you're gonna be completed with what you wanted to get done. It might take more years than a few, but that's okay. You gotta tell yourself, you gotta love yourself, and you gotta put in your mind the hope you need to get things done. We don't start off with a perfect mindset a lot of the times growing up. A lot of us have dysfunctional families, dysfunctional homes, but it doesn't matter about that. The matter is changing the way we think, changing the way we see things. A lot of things are challenging, and they get us angry, and we don't know how to overcome those. We start to get flustered, we start to mess up, we start to do all these things that are wrong just because of this pressure of stress and not getting a goal completed or not having things easy. And what you got to remember is nothing's ever going to be exactly how you want it. The only thing that's going to be exactly how you want it is relaxing. You don't want to do nothing? That's the only thing that's going to be exactly how you want it, is doing nothing. But in the hopes of getting things done and getting goals completed and getting all the things you wanted done, there's going to be failure. And there's going to be times where people are looking at you like, what are you doing? They don't know. No one's going to understand you when you're in the process of doing something. And that's the importance of not telling people your goals. The more times you tell people your goals, you get dopamine out of that. You're getting happiness off of telling someone you're going to do something, or you're going to be this, or you're going to be that. Get the dopamine out of doing it. Don't tell anybody what you're doing. Just do it. Don't get that dopamine. Don't get addicted to that dopamine of telling people, of thinking about the idea of doing something. Get that dopamine from doing something. Get up at the middle of the night. Think about that. Write it down. It doesn't matter. Wake up when you have to. Get things done. Write it down on a piece of paper. There's a lot of things in our life we can't change for ourselves, but mostly everything we can. If you're born without an arm, born without a leg, that's another thing. But you can still get things done no matter how crippled you are. You're capable, no matter what situation you're in, to improve. That is the beauty about being a human. It doesn't matter where you were born at. It doesn't matter how you were raised. It matters where you want to be. Stay hard.